All right. Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek bonus round number 21. Episode 21, sorry. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Siniti.
What's up?
Corey Feinside.
You jokers must be crazy.
And Tony Korkanakis. That's it. No words.
I have no words.
Well, you'll probably be the most negative on this one. Listeners, this is a spoiler cast for Suicide Squad. So if you haven't seen the movie yet and you care about spoilers, I would probably not listen to this, as we will be discussing all of the jarbled stuff that happened in the movie. We will have a regular movie cast with us talking about numbers and whatnot as soon as we, at some point with this stuff. So anyway, so if you haven't watched it and you care about spoilers, I would probably tune this out, as we will be talking spoilers. Once again, last warning. Not anymore. Going, gone. All right. Or should I have just done, here we go?
Wrong movie, Jim.
That was
Okay.
the Joker. That
Hurt
was a
you
good Joker.
really, really bad. Same thing.
What's that? Repeat that, Mike?
I'm
Hurt
just
you
gonna
really, really bad.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about Suicide Squad, guys. So yeah, that's two of us saw it last week. You guys saw it opening week. That would be Corey and Tony saw it opening week. So it's a little fresher for Mike and myself. But yeah. So guys, let's kick it off. Beginning of the movie. Well, we could just talk in halves. I think this movie, in my opinion, is a tale of two halves. Half one is actually very good. I thought it was a lot more enjoyable than half two. Yeah, yeah. I enjoyed getting the story of the characters and establishing the team. The problem, yeah, you got backstory of the characters and how they got thrown to jail.
What was the backstory of Captain Boomerang?
He
He's a
robbed
piece of
every
shit.
bank.
He's
in
robbing
Australia,
banks and then
by the
Who
Flash.
cares?
Flash.
He's Captain Boomerang.
yeah,
What was the backstory for Killer Croc?
Killer
Croc.
You got that
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
Condition, and he
As a
lives
skin
in a
condition,
sewer.
they started treating
What
him
was-
like a monster because he looked like a monster.
What was the
That's where he
backstory
was.
for Slipknot?
He gets his head blown off.
he has no
cares?
backstory.
That's his
That's-
backstory.
Why would you
That's-
waste time on his backstory?
That's taking one. We got a good story for.
Like, I think that's stupid complaints, though, just because, like, do you want to know everything about every character?
Yeah,
Not necessarily.
listen. When the guy
If you
shows
want
up,
me to care about your universe, yeah.
when the guy shows up with no backstory, no bio in the beginning of the movie, I knew he was dying. Like, absolutely knew he was dying. Like, there's no
On the
question
marketing
in
material,
my
like,
mind.
what
Yeah,
was on the posters.
that's horrible. Like, try to hide it a little bit,
Well, they took him to Comic-Con.
Okay, so the movie kicks off with Amanda Waller wanting to form the team, essentially, right? I mean, that's what we get. We get
intros for Deadshot and Harley Quinn,
we get a little more
and then
backstory for
we get reintroduced to them later.
we get a little more backstory for the major two characters of this movie. So Deadshot, guys, Will Smith,
Very good.
very good, very
I
good in
liked
this movie.
I thought it's a return to form for Will Smith. It's nice to see him in an action role again after like all this serious actor nonsense he's tried to pull.
May be the top grossing Will Smith movie of all time. It's got a shot.
Well, that's a lot of inflation, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, considering, like you just said, he's been out of the limelight for a while, it's good to see him back. He was actually, like you said, return to form. It felt like this was a summer movie made for Will Smith. Like, remember those old summer movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, I have some gripes.
Was that the who this movie was targeted to then? Will Smith fans? Because
I
It
think,
looked like, honestly, in the previews, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a Will Smith vehicle. Like, that's what I thought.
yeah, I mean, I think it kind of was actually a Will Smith movie. As much as they really tried to make Harley Quinn, who was the second character we get introduced to, a main character, because obviously they want spin-offs, they want tons of spin-offs, they want like merchandising and scantily clad dressed women in October, so that's what they want. But overall, Will Smith was the story here. He was the emotional tie to his daughter. We had we had some appearances from Batman there, but really it was about. I think this was more about Will Smith than anything. But
Pretty much. I mean, Deadshot, is a character that has some sort of backstory, and they changed it enough to Will Smith it up, and that's fine because he's not really that important to me, that character. So you can have different takes on him all you want, and the Will Smithification of the character was something I was fine with.
Yeah. So anyways, first halves, like I said, tale of first halves. We get to meet the team, form the team. Not trying to skirt through this at all, but we also get some funny Belle Reve, right? That's what they were in, Belle Reve?
Yeah, apparently it's Belle Rev according to the what's the show you made me watch? Young Justice. They say Belle Rev all the time. Well, so I've been pronouncing that wrong my whole life until that
didn't
show.
They actually refer to it as Belle Reve though in the movie?
I don't know. I think we just read it. I don't know if anyone said it.
I thought they actually said the name. I'm sorry. I really thought they said Belle Reve.
I'm not sure. I don't think anyone says it though. But whatever. It's not important.
Yeah. So, what do we got here? Beginning parts, guys.
I I legitimately liked the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
I
found myself having fun with the exception of the music.
Yeah, well, the music, the whole soundtrack is just trying too hard and wasting money, it seemed like, but that's whatever. I like the Batman's cameos. I kind of wish there was more, but Batman felt more like Batman than he even did in Batman Superman for me because, he shows up, he terrorizes the criminals. He's not trying to kill anyone. So it was good.
Because if this is BVS Batman, he probably would have killed Will Smith and his daughter. Just been like, brr, brr.
Yeah. At least in this one, he says, "No, I don't want to do this in front of your daughter." But then, why did he swoop down? He could have followed him home, waited for her to drop her off, and then picked him up.
Because he's using the daughter. That's the whole point. Because he knows that's his weakness.
Also,
Batman's too smart for that, Jim.
How does Deadshot live in? He lived in Gotham, right?
Yeah.
How did he live in Gotham and Batman never fucking found out?
He's good. He's really good. That's the idea behind Deadshot. He's a disappearing assassin, man.
He's nobody.
We don't know how long ago that was either. It's a flashback. Yeah, it could have been a while.
No, it's not only that, but it's Deadshot. He actually is a very good assassin in the DC universe. He's not nobody. He's a big villain in DC.
What's his most noticeable accomplishment?
Well, I mean, what's the Joker's most noticeable accomplishment?
Did you really just ask that when you just saw Killing Joke the other week?
Well, yeah, but I don't know if that's... What did he do in that, though, really? What did he do? He didn't do anything in that movie. That was my gripe with Killing Joke. He didn't do anything.
Or what he did to Robin? I mean, really?
Okay,
out
you
of
can
all
give
the
him...
examples you could have used, Joker's really bad.
I went big, all right?
Thing with Deadshot, and the reason he's in this movie is because he's a mid-tier character. So he's not a nobody.
What? He is a nobody.
He's not a nobody. He's definitely somebody. He's just
they're
not
all nobodies in this movie. That's the thing.
They're mid-tier characters, and that's why they're put into a group because they had too many characters, and now they didn't know what to do with them, so they threw them all together, and then they started being able to kill them off. I mean, that's the idea of these characters, and I think people liked the Deadshot character. I don't think he's definitely not on the top tier of Batman villains. Killer Croc's a bigger Batman villain than Deadshot.
Oh yeah. I mean, but the thing with Killer Croc, well, no, Killer Croc's always he's meant to be what he was in this movie. He's just meant to be muscle and make no noise and just make grunts, but really shouldn't have a big part whatsoever. Jason Momoa would have been good playing as Killer Croc.
I thought this guy was fine as Killer Croc. I don't know why you would need to change the actor.
I'm just saying that Jason Momoa about covers it with his acting range.
Name of this guy. I mean, you got a lesser name for probably less money playing something. Sure. I don't know. I don't see why.
If you're going to use Jason Momoa in the DC universe, you might as well put him as Killer Croc because he can't act. That's basically what I'm saying here.
Or just not use him.
Okay, so we had a nice cameo by The Flash wearing the shirt. But I truly hate his design. Truly hate that design.
Injustice Flash.
Yeah, I don't like that Flash anyways. Mm-hmm. So I have a really big problem with that. I don't like the design before the movie even gets shot. That sucks.
I'll get over it, I feel like.
That's the Barry design, too. You're not even getting the Bruce Wayne upgrade yet.
Yeah, which will be more armor.
Probably.
Yep.
Or
you're the fastest guy in the world.
But
you're going to get hit by something, so you need armor to slow you down.
Well, he's got to have weaknesses.
Actually makes sense.
I mean, if you're going
I know
fast,
you meant that to make no sense at all, but it makes more sense than how he normally is.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that
Anyway, I will agree that Deadshot, Will Smith did a great job.
bright
He is
spot
one
in
of the
this.
right. He is a positive, but like all the other characters aside from Harley Quinn, like Killer Croc, Captain Boomerang,
all those sub guys are
Diablo,
terrible.
all those guys were terrible.
Oh,
They
yeah.
Well,
sucked. I
they
didn't feel
weren't-
for them at all.
No,
Well, the
all.
thing is,
but the
who
movie didn't
cares
make you do
about
that.
them?
The movie didn't make
It
you.
wasn't
do
really
that.
about them. I mean, they were there, but
What? They
it
had
wasn't about them.
The Diablo guy had so many flashbacks. I didn't care.
He had a couple flashbacks, but
I like this character. I thought it was pretty good.
I thought
He
the
was-
special effects for him fucking sucked.
you know,
All
but
the
you know
special
why?
effects are terrible.
You know why I realized the special effects were bad? Because this movie probably should have been rated R, and they just glossed over all those people he incinerated because they didn't want
but
that.
no,
Like,
when he was
in
They
between,
just
they just
disappeared.
disappeared.
when he
I
was
didn't kill
holding the
those guys.
fire
I didn't
in
even
his hand,
disappear.
when he was holding the fire in his hand, it looked fucking terrible.
So bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen these special effects done better in 1999 movies.
I didn't really notice or care about that because he's doing some weird.
He was the
fire
one-
into
I
weird
think the
shit.
worst thing he did though was when he was like this, and he spelled out "bye" or whatever like that. I was like, really? That just happened in a fucking movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, I'm not saying that all the characters in the movie were very enjoyable, but I will say that because Will Smith and I thought Margot Robbie was good as
No,
Harley Quinn.
I thought she was kind of. Well, yeah, I thought she was pretty true to the character.
Yeah. I mean, she had a little bit of a New York accent going, but whatever.
Yeah, she did a good job. I don't think her puddings were as
Consistent?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as I would like.
She had some like. Am I
The
wrong? Like
accent
she had that.
a
It
little
went
bit.
in and
Yeah.
out just a little, but whatever.
But no, she did really good.
Yeah, she did, and I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing her in more Batman movies, hopefully. Or I don't want to see her with a solo movie. I'm sorry, I just don't want to see that.
No, that,
No, she's gonna be with the Vixens or whatever, right? Or the Sirens or
Oh,
whatever
the black Birds of Prey, whoever they are.
Birds of Prey. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck it is.
Oh,
More
great.
mid-tier characters.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but that whole first half I thought was great, introducing the team and getting them together to be
Some
like
Borderlands style intros.
to be like the oh shit, we need somebody to be a thrown together kind of team. I thought it was fine the first half. I thought it was great. I was having fun watching it. I noticed myself like I was smiling during it. The only parts that I felt, and I thought that the Enchantress looked pretty awesome actually, special effects wise, until the end.
Gollum. The
Yes.
Gollum version.
The
The
Gollum-
dirty version.
Yes, the dirty version
good.
was good. I thought that was very well done, and I was like, "Holy crap, that looks awesome!" And
Was that the same actress, the dirty version? I feel stupid for asking that, but
It's
I don't-
all
Yeah.
shit. It's all the same actress.
Okay.
is it? Okay.
because that was really well done, I was really happy with that.
Yeah,
and
I liked her when she was dirty, and then she got clean. I'm like, yeah, you're not hot anymore.
the problem with this, the only problem I have with that first half of this movie, and everybody can talk about what they felt in the first half here, was it felt again like every DC movie we've seen, just. Hurry along, hurry along, hurry along. We got to get to a story because we've never established these characters before, and we don't want this
We
to be
gotta
three
get
and
to a
half hours long.
flashback. We gotta get the flashback. We gotta get a flashback. We gotta get a flashback.
We have too many
I don't
characters in
fucking
this
care.
that we
If
haven't
you wanted
given
me
you a
to
story
care,
about.
You would have set these
That's
characters
the
up
gripe I have
in a movie.
Yes, my gripe
these
here.
characters don't deserve their own.
No,
movies,
you're right,
though.
but they could have been in a Batman movie or something like that.
Right,
or
but that's fine. Then don't give me these fucking dumbass flashbacks to show, oh, this guy killed his family.
The-
Like,
yeah.
did that really need to be like?
I'll save my
shown?
comment. I'll save my comments for later.
So every movie that has a flashback in it is a bad movie.
No,
Well, I mean,
About,
I don't
didn't. That's,
understand.
I don't know how
There's,
you pulled
like-
that from what I said. I'm saying useless characters that you just agreed don't deserve like
no, they don't
an
deserve their
individual
own
movie.
movie. But if they're going to be in a movie, a flashback is a good way to quickly tell you their backstory and be done with it. That's all that you needed for them, and you
I don't
got
see
it.
what that added for any of those characters outside of.
well, listen.
First, Tony, you're complaining that you didn't get enough backstory. Now you're complaining that you're getting backstory.
That's the thing. Like,
What is
listen,
it?
listen, it's not. It's the whole thing is because they try to give you all of these characters that I don't even know who they are, and I watch DC stuff. I read some DC comics. I don't know who these characters are, so they had to really give people story to kind of give them some sort of feeling towards these characters in the movie. That's what happened in the beginning of this.
What happened was those intro flashbacks were just like, hey, how we caught them. Like, it doesn't go into like how they got their powers, like why I should care for them as a person. Like, they tried to the album. It's like, okay, I guess I can somewhat understand with him, but like
I didn't like his
Captain
character. at
Boomerang,
all,
like
but Captain
okay,
Boomerang, I
we
didn't
watched
like
him,
either.
we watched him rob a bank and get
Yeah.
caught by the Flash. Awesome.
Yep.
That explains his motivation for the rest of the movie. Like when he
That's him.
fucking leaves the team, and then is suddenly back with them in the next.
It would have
fucking
been.
part.
And we're getting ahead here, but it would have
That's
been
what
far.
he is. He's a boomerang.
It would have
He
been
goes
far
back.
better.
Back.
No,
I would have accepted it
Yeah.
if he actually had that joke in the
Yeah.
movie. It was like, what? I always come back. I'm a boomerang.
No.
I would have been okay with that.
I would have been great with it if he didn't show back up. He just left. Like, that would have been tip the cap. That guy had one great moment in that movie, and that was it. But he weakened that moment when he came back.
Yeah.
I don't even remember when this happened.
The bar.
This is the bar scene.
He's like,
"Oh,
you guys don't have to go. You're all free to go. And he gets up and, like, runs out of the place real quick. I'm like, that's awesome. And then he shows up later. I'm like, fuck. Completely wrecked it. 'Cause the entire movie, I'm like, I really hate his character. And then that point, I'm like, well done,
I
sir.
don't know how you
Well
can hate his
done.
character. He
I
does
hated
not
his character
do
in this movie.
anything in this
He's just
movie.
annoying in this movie. Yo, mate, we're going to make a
he
prison
was
break.
supposed to be comic relief. He was
I
sometimes
thought he
kind
was
of funny.
serviceable.
Comic relief in a comic
I liked
movie.
all the characters. I thought they were very like. I mean, I don't as in like their personality or how they're played. I like the character designs and the characterization of these characters. But I agree that there aren't a lot of things for them to do. And I think that they probably overstuffed this movie with characters that didn't need to be in there.
The team
And
could have
they
been
probably
smaller.
could've made it a lot more streamlined if they focused on the characters and gave the the Deadshots and the Harley Quinns a little more time.
And here's the other.
You don't need a ton of backstory because we know these characters.
Right.
Like
And-
Spider-Man and Civil War, you don't need a freaking 15-minute backstory.
Right, for
on
Spider-Man, you
No.
don't.
characters.
I agree, and this is where I'm talking, like, not to bring up another movie, but, like, I think the most direct correlation we can make to this movie is, like, Guardians of the Galaxy. You didn't see fucking random-ass flashbacks of Groot or Rocket Raccoon or Drax or whatever, what's her name, the Gamora.
Yeah.
You didn't see that shit. It just, hey, these are people. These are what
Pretty
they
sure
do.
we
These are
did
the
get a
professionals.
Gamora flashback, but whatever.
Maybe with Thanos originally and the blue chick.
Mm-hmm. I think that's it.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, out of that team, we got one. I mean, seriously. And we got two.
That's the problem. Is like the time that these characters are given, it's not solidified in your brain of what their character actually is. So they just don't utilize their time well enough. It's not. I don't think it's a matter of having enough time or what time that they had is just not utilized.
So,
Okay, I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
all right, so next point.
Flashbacks would have been fine.
Next point, since we're still in the first half, let's talk Joker. We can talk about the Joker.
Ugh.
Because that's where he shined was the first half. Because in the second half, he kind of was non-existent, but via text messages. So his first appearance, okay, I'm going to just give you an overall opinion of what I thought of him. I don't think he was psychopathic enough. Like, he wasn't a psychopath enough. Like, he wasn't crazy enough for me. Did anybody get that vibe? It was just a tough gangster guy. That's it. He wasn't like... I mean...
The thing with the Joker, I
No.
don't need him to be psychopathic. I just need him to be super smart, but on the edge of, like, does this guy actually
he
know what
needs
he's
to
doing?
be insane. Like, he needs to be
doesn't
like,
need to be
why is
insane.
he doing what he's doing? Because nobody knows because he's so insane. That's the
there was
point of the
a-
Joker.
There was a bit of that in this.
See, like with Heath Ledger's Joker, he wasn't like that though, Jim. Like he was methodical. He knew
I never
exactly
said
what
that
he was
Heath
doing.
Ledger's Joker was the best Joker I've ever seen.
I didn't say you said that. I'm just saying, like, you want this crazy Joker, and like, I don't think any of them have really been that, except for maybe Cesar Romero.
No, I feel like Jack Nicholson's Joker was that.
He was a
He was
mobster too.
pretty nuts. No, he wasn't.
What are you talking? No, he wasn't. He was in the mob. He shot his mob boss.
Well, yeah, but that was not. He wasn't a mobster as the Joker. He was like a
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
guy with a weird plan that nobody knew exactly what it was until the end.
Oh, I would disagree that he wasn't still kind of head of a mob.
Like, we
He
kind of
had
know
some
why.
gang.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
I think-
you can't count a gang as part of like the mob. This guy acted
He's a
just like a
gangster.
gangster. This
Yeah.
guy acted just like a gangster.
The thing that bothered me the most, aside from his look, which I still can't get over, is this Joker was very materialistic, which is like almost the opposite of most depictions of Joker.
Yeah.
Like
Well, that's what I'm trying to
don't-
say. He's like, usually he's very
Driving
chaotic.
convertibles,
Yeah.
Being a mob boss,
Lamborghinis.
making dudes kiss his ring. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Owning
That
a
was the most
nightclub.
ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
That was the most ridiculous thing. I was like, really? Like,
The part
Okay.
that I think that got right is he was kind of unpredictable. You didn't exactly know what he was going to do, and he did seem pretty crazy to me.
I didn't get that vibe. That's the thing. Like, that missed for me. Like, that
I knew
missed.
he was gonna kill that dude as soon as he started talking to Joker. I was
Yeah,
like,
I
this
know,
guy's
I
dead.
know, but it's supposed.
That's not on the Joker though. That's on editing, man. Like they did a terrible job on like telegraphing every single thing that happened.
I'm not saying I don't want to see more of him. I haven't seen enough of him. Like, he's only in it for like 5 minutes, so
Right. That's
I wouldn't want any more of him though because I didn't.
no, you
particularly
can't
like
make
the take
this
of him.
statement. It's like I'm trying to talk to Tony about Spider-Man. If I didn't, I'm gonna make the same argument. Listen, at least I'm gonna be consistent here. We just didn't get enough of this guy.
No, that's what I said last week. That is what I
story
said.
wasn't about him. Like, why would he?
You're right.
So why
You
even
were
have
right.
him in the movie?
Well,
Why
he
did
needs.
they have Spider-Man?
Because you can't have Harley Quinn.
Listen.
You can't have Harley Quinn's first appearance in a movie without Joker.
But I would have been fine with the very, very small amount of him in it, just in the beginning with him turning her into Harley
it's
Quinn.
fine the way it is now.
No. Hold on.
Advertising that really screwed people's perception.
Think about how much better this movie would have been if all they had shown of the Joker there was him turning her to his, like, crazy accomplice. That's it. That's the last part you see of him. You never see him chasing her in the movie. They just cut that out. The movie would be far better.
I would have liked it to be more of like a love triangle with the Deadshot and Joker.
That's the other thing. I didn't.
Like in Arkham. Assault on Arkham. That was a great storyline.
Yeah, it
They
was.
could
It
have just
was.
adapted that.
I thought they were
Yeah,
going to kind of
I'm
do
just
that.
saying,
I
like,
thought
the
they were
whole
going to kind of
thing
do
where-
that.
I don't need a love triangle in this. That's awful.
I'm just saying, it's not that. It's not gonna. All right, it's not like full on. Oh, she doesn't know what to do because she's in love with both of them. I'm just saying she could have used Deadshot's emotions more and played it off with the Joker. You know, because
Right.
of how
Well,
the relationship is.
I
It's not a matter of actually. Oh, I'm in love with Deadshot now. It's
Yeah.
like her.
Well,
playing-
I think they are going to build towards that because one of the things I did somewhat notice was that like it seemed like Deadshot was trying to get her to not be like so just crazy like Joker was. Like, you know, he obviously doesn't have a problem with being bad, but you know, he seemed to not be a fan of the Joker's ways. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading into it too much, but
seem to have a code.
yeah,
Well,
no women, no children, that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, which a later part. I didn't buy something that happened until we learned that it was a hard and fast rule he had.
yeah.
Because I don't know. It seemed like an awful lot on the line for someone who's killed countless people to not kill someone like her.
I thought that would have been. By the way, like, again, I'm like, granted, they're not going to kill her, but I'm like, you know, that would be kind of cool if they did. Like, he makes the shot, and he's like, okay, done, where's my money? Because that's kind of the character he should have been. These people have been together for maybe 30 minutes, it feels like.
Oh my god.
Like, and that's the thing, the team coming together kind of thing, I'm like, why are they touting that in this movie? That should never have been in the story.
Infighting at all. Like, Guardian, I think they had more infighting in Guardians in the beginning than they did
Sure,
in Suicide
absolutely.
Squad.
Like, there was in the jail, there was all kinds of infighting in Guardians. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But let's move into the second half of this, where I feel like this movie actually really, this is where the movie falls apart for me. And I'm not saying it's overall. I overall like this movie because I like the first half, and I still kind of enjoy the second a little bit. But this is where I understand where all the gripes come from, because this second half, you have a generic villain, you have generic enemies.
It became Ghostbusters.
Oh my god.
And
Thank you for bringing that up, Mike, because that is exactly what I thought.
I got that vibe too.
Like,
I'm like, is that Zool? Is that
Are we
Gozer?
Ghostbusters now? Like,
Yeah, is that Gozer?
oh shit, we're Ghostbusters now.
Yeah.
Like, expect Slimer to fucking show up.
Like, that's the thing. But let's move into the second half where they establish this villain that, first of all, Amanda Waller, I thought she was played very well by the actress.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she was great.
Good version of it.
However, conveniently written to where she makes mistakes like this, but she doesn't make mistakes, right? Isn't that what we talked about before, Amanda Waller? Like, you have this Enchantress where you know she can go anywhere she wants and get any sort of plans because she does it for you as an example to the government. Like, so you know where she can go, and yet you leave her brother's, like, doll, or you don't even know what the doll is, but you know it has to do with her because you're researching it. So you leave it, like, way out in the open.
I don't like that either. I really felt if they just wanted to have Enchantress get her heart back, like, just come up with something else. Be like, hold somebody close to her hostage when she's in the shower or something stupid like that. Would have been better than, like, oh, Amanda Waller's asleep, and, so dumb. Whatever.
Yeah.
Not a big point, just whatever.
The premise
The
of
whole
her brother being
Enchantress thing, honestly, was pretty bad.
Yeah. That's
she was
the weak,
not
but
a
that's
good
the
villain for this.
but that's the problem with the movie there, because then when you have a bad villain, you can't have a great movie. I'm sorry.
And
I say it all the time.
here's my underlying
in a
problem.
way, Amanda Waller's also the villain.
But they rescue her. Go on.
Here's my underlying problem with Suicide Squad was she talks about wanting to formulate a team that could theoretically stand up to another superpowered, or what a metahuman, as they called it, if, you know, Superman went rogue, or, you know, Zod came back to life a third time, or whatever, second time, whatever. I'm just like, okay, I could get behind that. And then it's like, you know, what's Deadshot's superpower? Oh, he shoots bullets. Oh, really? Cool. Those are so effective against Superman.
But he's more accurate than anyone else.
Harley Quinn.
Totally I would argue that Amanda Waller is more accurate than Deadshot, because Deadshot missed a shot in the movie. Amanda Waller did not.
No, she did not.
He missed on purpose. Though.
I don't care. He's missed one shot. Her clips are empty into bodies.
But, like, yeah, so you form the Suicide Squad, and, like, what, two of the dudes, like, what, is Diablo and Enchantress that were superpowered? Like, how is anybody else supposed to stand up to a metahuman?
Well, Croc is overpowered.
Oh, okay, I'll give him that. Okay, so 3 out of, what, 6, 7?
And the rest can get killed, and they're off your hands. There you go.
But that's my problem. It's like,
or you just blame them for things.
What's the problem with the Suicide Squad in any iteration of it?
I would have rather had it just been like, look, I'm forming like a Black Ops secret team that if shit goes wrong, like, we can just totally disavow them and be like, nope, they're not part of us. They're criminals, or, you know, they escaped. But, like, do it for, like, no, I know. But I'm saying, like, do it for stuff that it's actually within their wheelhouse. Like, hey, we need you to break it to some government agency, like foreign government agency, and, like, rescue hostages or something stupid like that, where they, like, America officially can't, like, dabble their, you know, hands into and stuff like that. And then be like, oh shit, like, this crap is going on with this, some superhuman power. Like, then be like, well, you know, you guys might not be the best, but it's all we got. So there you go, have at it. Like,
well, what happened was they never really got their real mission. Enchantress was supposed to be on the team. Then once everything went wrong, they're just like, oh, these people come get me out of here.
Right, it's dumb. It's
not dumb.
But okay, and that brings me to my biggest complaint.
Situation to put yourself in.
When was this a rescue mission? Because I was like, did I fall asleep on this? Like, I thought they were going in to fight the enemy. Like,
maybe you were ordering your food or waiting.
The whole thing is the only reason that they are getting deployed is to rescue her.
I didn't know that I didn't know that it was a rescue mission the whole time. I thought that they were just going in there to fight the villain.
No,
I didn't know they were going.
No idea that was even there.
So they got activated to go for a rescue mission. They thought they were going in the whole time. They thought they were going in to rescue somebody.
The whole time it was to get the high value target, and that was the only person you couldn't kill. HVT-1. Remember? Okay. Sounds like.
But the problem was when I said after
I missed it.
This is the only person you can't kill. They're like, in the same sentence, they're like, and don't. And if anything happens to Colonel Flag, it's your head or something like that.
Yeah, because
for a second I thought they were talking about him. So I don't know.
When Flag goes like this with the iPad and says the voice of God, she explains their mission, which is to go in and, you know, rescue HVT-1.
Rescuing her, which is
high value target.
High value target, and then she kills everybody in her office, which is
because they can't know about the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, which again proves that she is kind of the villain of the movie.
So, like, the whole thing is it was very poorly edited and very poorly conceived as how these characters and why these characters are doing what they're doing, because a lot of people missed what you said.
Yeah, I completely missed it.
These characters would go in, get her out.
It was pretty much.
If that was established better, yes, it would have been, because that was my big complaint when I got out of the theater. Like, I had no idea. I said that to Mike. The first thing I said.
Take care of that problem with Incubus. Like,
did they even put a explosive thing in Enchantress? No, right?
In her? What do you mean? What?
Did they implant an explosive?
No, because she was being controlled by the heart.
The heart was her.
That was her weakness.
I just don't understand why you wouldn't have a backup plan.
I'm pretty sure that
where I
wouldn't
agree
have worked
with Jim,
anyway. But I don't know. Her powers were unclear because she's magic and can do anything, and decides to Power Ranger fight for a little while, and then she's like, never mind. But that's the end.
Yeah. So we had the second half of this movie. I didn't like the design of the enemies, like the mass zombie putties. Yes. I didn't like those designs. I thought they were very...
It's more people you can just completely murder and not have it be people, even though they
were people.
They're not anymore. They're like zombies.
It was the
P13 part of it.
But we did get
characters that
we did get a great moment with. I love the moment with Deadshot. With he gets on top of the car and everybody watches him take everybody down. They're just like, and they all just stopped shooting and watching him. That was
Well,
a
that
cool
was-
part.
I mean,
The only example
that's-
of them showing off a power, really.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
that's
like,
his superpower right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
He doesn't miss. Yeah. And I thought that sequence was awesome, even though it was clearly like a screen like for fanboys, but it was very good to have that part. Like I thought that was really cool. And the entire team got to see how good he really was.
Deadshot and Harley Quinn got all the best parts.
Sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was about them. This,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if
I
I
don't
describe
have a
this
problem with
movie to
that.
somebody, I'll say it's Will Smith meets Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
That's the
Well, let's
storyline
hope.
of this movie. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So second half we're into here, we get to have the brother who was very generic of Enchantress.
super generic.
Yeah.
Super duper. Like it felt like he was what was it? The Annihilator or whatever it was from Thor 1.
Devastator?
Yes,
Yeah,
that
the
was it.
Devastator.
That is it. Yeah, he does feel like that.
He looked like the final
trying to
form.
Place my
of,
finger on it.
Who was it? Shinnok in the latest Mortal Kombat. If you play it through the arcade mode, you know what I mean.
So they didn't need to have him. They could have had Enchantress be the villain because they didn't know anything about her at that point. I thought that would have been fine, but they needed to get her heart to her, and they need to keep her alive while Amanda Waller stabs her heart. So I guess the brother had to be there.
Yeah, I guess he was the thing that Amanda Waller didn't count on that made this happen.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're supposed to get out of his character. And that's about it.
Yeah. So the last, well, I mean, now I understand the building sequence. I'm like, why did they enter this building? Like, I felt that was weird. Now I understand because they knew they had to go in that building to rescue the target. I thought that was just weird when they're like, okay, you guys might not want to come in here because it's a high value target.
Well, that's why they were so upset once they got to her. Like,
Yeah.
Now they're like, well, your mission's not over.
Yeah.
Go see. That's what I mean. Like, the editing was really just poor in this movie.
So we
And
get
it felt like a lot of stuff got
the
cut.
Joker disappears in the second half, which is not the case apparently according to Jared. However you say his last
Well, in
name.
the trailers, there's
Leto.
scenes with
Yeah,
him, like at the end there.
Well, apparently the
Trailer,
original the original cut or whatever had him coming back after the helicopter crash and like
That's when he's got the side of his face is all.
yeah, his face is burned and he's trying to get like Harley to go with him and then Harley chooses to stay and help.
I
with,
thought
like,
there was going to
Deadshot
be
stuff.
that moment in the movie. That's the thing. Like, I really thought there was going to be that moment.
But you know what? I'm glad they don't have that because I don't want like Harley Quinn. She's gotten really popular, but she's not a role model. She's an idiot.
But she does
She
separate.
should always choose Joker, which is always the wrong decision. But that's
Yeah.
part of her character, I think.
Dude, they have freaking apparel that has hashtag relationship goals on it.
I know it's stupid.
What'd you guys think of the Alex Ross? Is Alex Ross did that awesome artwork
Yeah.
with Joker? What'd you think of the homage to that?
That
It
was
was nice to
cool. I
see,
could have
but-
seen it for like at least another beat or so. It was very short.
Yeah.
Like
I think that it was good that it was in there, but like that does not look good on film. That's
No,
awesome.
no. I don't like that costume for her. Now I'm glad she didn't wear that. Yeah. So
It's nice that it was there though.
anything else for the second half? We talked about the ending.
I mean, the
Well,
second half.
Waller's the thing that you talked about, Jim, with Waller's like shooting the FBI or whatever agents, the Argus agents, like that to me seemed way out of character. Even though she's a villain
Yeah.
technically, and she just doesn't care. I would have rather seen something else happen to those people than what she did, just because she's supposed to be
She's still a government agent.
a government. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well,
Like
she's
She is
the
working-
dangerous government agent.
She's working. She's working within the government. They're working without the government. Like that's the idea.
And so, like, the biggest problem with that scene for me is Rick Flag, though, because what happens with him is he's so against Deadshot and what Deadshot stands for,
Yeah.
being an assassin and taking credit cards for killing people, where he just watches his boss murder 3 people that are innocent,
Yeah.
and don't have any criminal record, and he's like, well, you do what you got to do.
He wasn't exactly happy about that.
He wasn't
Well-
happy, but he wasn't like, okay,
What's he
I
gonna
can't
do?
work
Get shot
later.
too?
I mean, this whole time he's not really been on board with her. He's been forced to be on board thanks to his
Well,
girlfriend.
I agree,
Yeah.
but like that manipulation part to me, it seemed out of place.
Which
It's
is
like-
why didn't he just kill her? He had a perfect opportunity to kill her there.
Yeah.
Right, that's the thing.
Like
is-
the only leverage she had was Enchantress, and she got away. So
Well,
same
no,
with
he's,
Deadshot,
but
too.
he's this military guy. As much as he disagrees with her, he doesn't want to destroy the like
she's
chain
not
of
military.
command. And get,
It's yeah, but he
She's
sees
hot.
her. I mean, I get Mike's thing. Like the guy is a military man. She's a government agent.
he's not going to just ruin his entire career.
It's not even about career. It's just what's embedded. It's been
just because
indoctrined into
him. He had a
him.
plausible defense to be like, oh well, she just shot all these other fucking government agents, so
Yeah.
I would assume she almost has a contingency to screw him over if he tried to.
I'm sure. I mean, she should
that.
have that. That's what her whole characterization.
I mean, I just wouldn't see him stepping out of line for anything really.
Would you guys
like?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I really wouldn't see. I mean, his character is sort of annoying.
Boy Scouty.
Yeah. So the ending of this with them getting their back thrown into they get 10 years off their sentence when they finish.
Triple life
sentences.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the way Suicide Squad works. They're going to be in there, and we saw that in Arrow as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very, very small amount off of there.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, Diablo or whatever, his sacrifice. It was something. It wasn't great, but it was something.
It was terrible. I love how he Okay, so first of all, he tries to fight Incubus, whatever, and he gets knocked into a room where there just happens to be pictures of a family, which triggers his emotions. He's like, "Oh yeah, I had a family once too," and then he goes and says, "I lost one family. I'm not losing another one." I'm like, dude,
that
you've known these people for less than a day.
Yeah.
What? Are you fucking serious right now?
That's,
oh my god.
That's where they failed to establish this as they failed this movie to establish them as a team, and that's why all of those lines, this whole ending just doesn't work. So
it was kind of hard to buy how friendly they got.
Yes. And then
I understand it's a tough situation. You're thrown together, and of course we did get the, head exploding of what's his name? Yeah,
exactly. What's his name?
To sort of scare them into oh, we have to
you had to have that person to show them that they're being serious.
But yeah, that family, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is nice that someone sacrificed themselves, I guess, at the end.
They needed to make it more meaningful. But there are a lot of problems with this film. But I mean, I really liked the characters that they had on screen. I thought that they looked great, first of all, and I liked a lot of their portrayals. I thought Captain Boomerang was hilarious most of the time.
I did not like Captain Boomerang.
Most people don't like that guy in general, just because he's a terrible actor. But I thought he was fine. I thought
his acting was bad. That's really it.
He was just comic relief.
I thought Rick Flag's acting was questionable at times too.
Yeah,
I thought he was fine.
I like for such a badass military dude. He got dragged off how many times?
Yeah,
he sucked.
Deadshot kept having to save him. Yeah. So no, so I guess anything more about the ending, because we're going to talk overall what we feel about this movie.
It's just when it became a dumb CGI action movie fest.
At the end, the generic ending.
The first half was this is kind of
we don't know what to do.
I don't understand what the spell was supposed to do. What was she I'm going to create a machine that...
I don't know.
What?
With lightning. She's destroying satellites and disrupting seas.
Battleships, yeah. And destroying
everybody into putties.
Yeah. Yeah, so the ending where they all get their the epilogue, where they're all back in their cells. You get Deadshot actually able to see his daughter now for one time, and you get Harley's prison break. Good.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Harley prison break. I mean that
was fine. Yeah. Joker's back. He's not dead because we didn't see him since.
I also liked how his police uniform or whatever it was said Joker. Wow, I really needed that because it was all of 10 seconds before he took off his helmet.
Yeah, it's we wouldn't have known that was him anyways.
Funny. I like that. That's a Joker touch. I thought
that's true. It could have just had his face on it though, the Joker face. You know what I mean?
They wanted to look official.
Yeah,
it's it looked like the police writing.
Yeah.
Also, really quickly, whatever happened to the captain of the guards or whatever? Did something ever happen to him? The last thing,
Riggs or something.
They said that Joker was coming for him.
Yeah,
and then that was
Harley
it.
the cell phone, and she's like, "Oh, you're so screwed." And he's like, "What? What do you mean by that?" And then I think that was the last we ever heard of him.
It is, yeah.
Did they address it? I swear,
no, they don't.
They got him in that club or something in the back.
That was before. He got her the cell phone.
The last time we see him is when he gives her the phone.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You don't know what happened to him.
So dumb.
Yeah.
He's not important.
No, he wasn't, but they tried to make him important, which makes it so you want...
and more lines of dialogue than some of the...
Than the Joker. So, I don't know. Overall, like I said, I like the movie. I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10, which I think is a bit lower than Batman vs. Superman. It's not better than Batman vs. Superman for me. Well, okay. I just felt like this movie had a terrible second half, and the villain was really, really weak. And I didn't like some of the acting in this movie. At least I liked the actors in Batman vs Superman. Yes, that's right. Ben Affleck included.
It's his birthday today.
I felt Ben Affleck yet again looked all... He even acted weird in this. Like, I don't know. Like, even when he was, like, taking down Deadshot, I felt like that... I like the swooping down, but I don't know. If he was using him anyways, why would he just... I don't want to do this in front of your daughter, but he's using him for his daughter. So, I don't know. I didn't like Ben Affleck as much in this one.
I liked his cameos a lot in this one.
Yeah, I liked him. Like the Joker sequence with him was good. I'll give you that. With on top of the Lamborghini because it's the material Joker.
It's actually not a Lamborghini, but it
looks like a Lamborghini.
A big internet thing on that whole thing because it's.
Let me. Oh God! I pissed off the internet. I don't know.
No, I'm just saying. I think a lot of people got pissed off at people calling it a Lamborghini. I just think it's funny that the internet blew up about
it's
that.
It's a Bugatti. Is it a Bugatti?
No, it's a Nissan.
Oh Jesus! Oh come on! They couldn't even get a real Lamborghini. Oh, they didn't have the budget. They spent it all on that soundtrack. And I thought the ending sequence CGI. Like I said, the CGI in this movie was terrible. And that's saying something because I thought Doomsday didn't look very good in Batman vs Superman. But overall, like I said, 6 out of 10. I understand all of the gripes for this movie. I did enjoy enough of the characters that makes me like the movie, and I would watch it again. I am going to go see it again because I have a free ticket, so I'm going to go see it again. So that's my opinion. Mike?
So I legitimately liked the first half of the movie,
Oh, yeah,
and then the second half was just like, oh, well, this is a dumb action movie now. What I liked about the first half, though, is that you have this sort of quirky action movie that, oh, wait, this is in the DC universe. You forget sometimes. It's like you get Superman name dropped. You're like, oh, yeah. And then Batman shows up. It's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So I really liked, and if the whole movie stayed like that, if we didn't go into this supernatural Ghostbusters climax, it would have been pretty good, I think. If they had to actually do a heist or, some government agency needs to be toppled within itself. Something less stupid.
Yeah.
For a team like them to do. But unfortunately, they went giant glowing sky nonsense and Power Ranger fighting.
Yeah.
So that
We
said,
didn't mention Katana. What the hell?
Oh, yeah, we did mention Katana.
she was thrown in there.
She was tacked on worse than
just to
Wonder
be
Woman.
there.
She was tacked on worse than Wonder Woman.
I mean, her sword was
She was.
important, I guess. But that was it.
Tacked on worse than Wonder Woman.
Very forgettable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to fill out this team, but really it's about 2 characters, and take that for what you will. I liked the focus on those 2 because I really could not give less of a crap about all these other characters in the movie. Like I understand they're there to support them, but I didn't care too much about them. So I felt like I got as much of them as I wanted, to be honest. So I don't know, 6 or 7 really for me. Like it went from being like good to dumb, but still okay, I guess.
I got you. That's exactly what I said. I just feel like Batman vs Superman was a better movie than this.
I'm not sure because I feel like I felt Batman vs Superman was more disorganized to me. Like I felt the cuts more in that, and I also felt like
I missed part of this movie. I missed part of this movie, so you understand my statement. I mean, like seriously.
Maybe. I also feel like there was longer stretches of actual boredom in Batman vs Superman. Like this.
It's a longer movie. It was definitely a longer movie.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just felt
and it didn't have Jesse Eisenberg this one, so that's a plus.
That's true. I say this. I don't like this take on the Joker, but I think he's closer to how I think the Joker should be than Jesse Eisenberg is to how Lex Luthor should be.
We said that. Tony, what's your overall?
It was bad.
You don't want to say anything more?
I mean, I could. All right, so what did I give Batman v Superman? Was it 4?
Probably 4. I think you're around a 4.
I'd give this a 5, I guess.
You did like it better, though.
Yeah, because at least this did have moments of
fun,
and I did enjoy parts of it, and the characters. Like, I'm sorry, in Batman v Superman, there's not a single character that I was like, oh yeah, they're a good interpretation of that character. They're a good take on that character. It's like, that's not my Superman, that's not my Batman, that's not my Lex Luthor. Wonder Woman, not enough to judge. Like, sorry. Fucking failure on all parts. Maybe Alfred, I guess. Maybe? Question mark. I don't know. But at least these characters, like, okay, Deadshot, yeah. Harley, okay. We'll see. Joker, we'll see. Kind of like Wonder Woman, not enough to see. But,
That's the
And
thing with
moments
the
of-
Joker. Overall, you just
And
couldn't
moments of fun didn't know exactly what was going to happen the whole time. Unlike, Batman v Superman, where we saw like one trailer and it's like, oh, cool. Well, we can guess most of the movie now. All right, sweet. But yeah, poor editing, soundtrack. Well, I mean, the soundtrack, like if you're just listening to the soundtrack, I think it's good music, but like it felt out of place during some of the.
It's
some of the
topping
things.
like the top 200 or something. It's soundtrack, which is pretty
Yeah,
fun
it's
to me.
ridiculous. But
How often do you hear a trailer soundtrack in a movie? Like, how often do you hear a trailer's soundtrack? Like, when they play music during a trailer, how often do you get that in the movie?
I don't
Not
know.
too often.
No.
But,
It doesn't
I mean,
happen. It doesn't.
to me, I think it's concerning when you have a movie about two of the biggest superheroes, Batman v Superman, and both of them are just so fucking dark and morbid and just
They're both not heroes. I see what you're saying.
depressing. They're both not heroes, right? And you have a movie about villains, and they even advertise it as the worst heroes ever.
Yeah.
But like they act more heroic than either of those characters did in Batman v Superman. Like,
Yeah, they got upset with a baby. You killed the
Yeah.
baby? Killed the child?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I thought was way out of character for them. They should have been like, who cares? They're super villains. They're like
Yeah.
max
But-
prison people, but whatever.
Ultimately,
Well, Harley didn't really care.
No.
ultimately, what it comes down to is I thought that all the problems rested on Zack Snyder and his shoulders, but clearly after this movie, it's bigger than that. It comes down from the executives. So Warner Brothers needs to get their heads out their asses and give DC fans something that they deserve, which is why I just don't understand how you guys would be like, oh, I liked it.
I'm not screaming to the rafters like the DC fanboys are, saying Marvel movie sucks, DC movies are way better. Like, I've seen this all over Facebook. It's ridiculous. Like, this is way better than the shit Marvel puts out. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Do you want better then? Do you want?
I
their
do
movies
want better. I do want better.
Stop supporting this.
My one.
So there's a-
it's
you're
like
wrong. There's a problem
it's
with
like
that, though,
voting. It's
is-
like voting for presidents. Our voice isn't really heard.
It's not necessarily true. I
Clearly,
think,
when you get into the box office, we're going to see that the voices do get heard.
True.
um,
Which we'll do on the podcast.
problem with that though is like, would you want to have this or nothing at all?
Nothing.
Like, if you get nothing,
No, I'd rather have this than nothing.
yeah, exactly.
rather have
That's
nothing.
how I feel too. Is like I wanted to see these characters on the big screen. I think these characters were really well portrayed, and I disagree with your acting statement, Joe. I think a lot of it was well done
No.
as far as like Deadshot. Will Smith was great. Harley Quinn was great. I thought Jai Courtney playing Captain Boomerang was perfect for that character because he's a dumbass character being dumb and stupid on film, and that was hilarious. I thought that was awesome, and I think that Killer Croc was pretty good, even though he's very stereotyped. I think that his
He was
line-
super stereotyped. When was he a gangster?
well, I
Like
think
thug
his portrayal is
Thug
pretty
gangster.
good. I like
What?
the fact that
BET?
he,
Really? Fucking BET? How
Yeah.
can you defend that? How?
why wouldn't you like? Why would you get upset? The funniest thing is that that channel is awful, and like it's hilarious that he would want that, and like just because you know the actor's black, it becomes a racist thing. Like it's so silly to me. Like, I think it's just funny because like that's the kind of character he is. He just wants some booties in his butt, butts in his face. Like, it's funny. I mean, it's.
He must
I
have
think
really
that's
liked
funny.
Harley.
Well, I mean, who didn't if you got a penis? I mean, seriously.
No, he's right. She's eye candy, and she did a good job with that. But I thought she was actually good in the movie, but
Yeah,
not just eye
that's what I'm
candy.
saying.
For the record, ladies.
And I thought, and for me, I thought the Joker's look was pretty interesting. I liked it, and I like this take on him as a mobster, and I want to see where they go from there. I think that it's very promising.
Jury's
It's just
way
a
out,
matter of
and
what they're
I
gonna
will
do.
not use the words promising with Joker yet.
Oh,
It's
I
just
know.
none.
As far
Guys,
as the
but-
Joker goes, even though I did say I feel some aspects of him as being Jokerish, I kind of would have rather had him not in this movie at all, to be honest.
So, what would you give this movie then, Corey?
I give it 7.
So half
I
a
think
point.
it's right around where Batman v
Yeah,
Superman
I think you
was.
did 6.5
I think
with
this
me.
movie's much more watchable than Batman v Superman. I want to see this again.
Oh.
And Batman.
Well,
v
I'm going
Superman,
again. If you want to go with me, I'll let you know. We'll go during the week or something.
Yeah, let me know. Because I do want to see it again.
We'll just
and-
go over to we'll go over to Mansfield or something.
Like I said, I really like these characters. I just wish they had something better to do. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
a
mean,
second
I think
viewing will
that the
help.
portrayal of them was spot on for what I wanted.
Maybe a second viewing will help me. Who knows? All right. So I think that's going to wrap up the spoiler cast. Anything else to add, guys?
The post-credit scene. What you guys think of that?
Nah,
That was dumb.
That was dumb.
It was
You didn't like
stupid
that?
because the problem with that scene is
Oh
the
my
Justice
God.
League trailer. If the Justice League trailer did not get shown, nobody knew about the Justice League trailer, I think this scene would have been way better.
We already knew
Because
they're
it'd been
getting
the first
formed.
time
Yeah.
you see Batman actually trying to recruit these characters. You've already seen it happen, and now that ruined that scene.
Well,
It's like,
you know
well,
what?
Luthor gave us those fucking snippets with the logos already made.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Luthor's,
oh,
he's a marketing guy.
Kind of.
Lex Luthor's their marketing
Well, what
manager.
I liked about it is it explains why the other heroes aren't rushing to help on this giant disaster.
Well, sure, it explains why they're not formed yet, but
And also, I like the implication that they both know who each other are, even though they're not
But see,
actually
this-
saying it.
This
I
is
kind
where
of
I
like that
disagree with
about
you
them.
because we have already known that Flash exists in this universe as a superhero, and this movie took place in what, a day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever.
it was like a day.
how
I
long-
think it was a day.
2 days, I
Well-
think it was 2 days. I think.
Well, the next morning. Yeah, okay. I can
Like,
see
I
that.
just can't
It's hard
believe
to
that.
gauge because there's a flashback.
Right.
That's-
But I just couldn't believe that Flash wouldn't try to show up. He's the fastest man in the world.
Well, he doesn't do a lot of things in other TV shows either. So.
Well, right, but that's a gripe there. But
Stacey's busy. Maybe
he
something.
was in this movie, so there's really no excuse.
Maybe there was a bunch of people robbing
Yeah,
stuff.
that's the problem
wherever
with
he
all
was.
these, all these movies with superheroes in them.
You
like,
also-
where was anybody
A big
in any
bank
of these?
heist.
Yeah, the
I
Flash. I,
like
mean, these heroes in Justice League are clearly all trying to find out who they are still, and that's the idea. Maybe he doesn't want to get involved in this.
Yeah, they're all sticking to their own cities as of now, and
Yep.
Gotham, New Jersey, to Midway or whatever isn't too close either. So
Yeah,
Well, for the Flash, it's nothing.
The
I
Flash
don't know
is
where
like
he's supposed to be at this point.
Well, apparently he was in Australia for some reason, taking down Captain Boomerang.
yes,
Yep. You can get
Yeah, that's
there to
true.
stop a bank heist, but
yeah. All right, that's a good point.
Did you know Zack Snyder directed that scene?
Oh, good.
The boomerang.
It had his
thing, right?
stink on
Flashback?
it. It had his stink on it.
That was like
Just
30 seconds long. Less
Yeah, it
than
was. It was. But they brought him in just because of the cameo for the Justice League. That's why.
Well, they were filming Justice League, and so they were like, "Oh, let's use the Flash here."
Yeah.
So
All right, so that's going to wrap up episode 20, the Spoilercast bonus round. What are we on? Jesus. Bonus round 21. Tune in for we'll have more of these. We're actually going to have another one coming up for, again, probably Overwatch Season 2 as we get news for that. But what movie's coming out anytime soon? What's another big movie coming?
Nothing.
well, nothing for immediate next couple months,
Not
but then
until
once we
Rogue.
get into
What's in November? There's always something in November.
Doctor Strange.
There it is. Doctor Strange. Yep. So we'll have a Spoilercast definitely for
I don't
Doctor
know if I
Strange.
want to watch that.
Wait, okay, we'll have 3 of us on the Spoilercast for Doctor Strange. So tune in to our regular podcast, folks. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're at All You Can Geek is video podcast. If you're not on there, we have it. Subscribe to our channel.
allyoucangeek.net.
Yes. allyoucangeek.net. You can go to our website, allyoucangeek.net as well. Facebook, All You Can Geek, at All You Can Geek on Twitter. And yeah, keep tuning in. We appreciate it. Thanks.